If this one tiny little scene that happened near the end of this episode is indicating what I think it's trying to indicate, then one of these characters just got very, very sad. Hello everybody, my name is MeisterBloo, and I just took a look at the third episode of When Supernatural Battles Became Commonplace. Not gonna lie, in comparison to the previous two episodes, this episode was really tame, for lack of a better way of saying it. It was really tame. It was very non-action oriented, and which is fine. But the one thing this show really had going for it in the first two episodes, for me especially, was the animation. Like, the animation quality was amazing, and this one didn't have much need for heavy animation, so there honestly wasn't as much in this one. So it's not technically a bad point, it's just well, I wish there was a little something in here. With this episode, it basically just focused on giving us slight insight to the characters that we've seen in the past two episodes, because honestly, we have not found out much about these other than their interactions with each other. Now we have at least a tiny little bit of development with these characters and their interactions. We get a little insight into why these girls, despite how much they apparently seem to just not be able to stand this guy, for the most part, why they hang around him. The episode starts off where our main guy, Ando, gets sent to his teacher's office because he keeps writing very difficult kanji on his paperwork, and she's not happy about it. He meets this other guy in there, they get into a fight. It turns out these two characters have had a long history of fighting, and then that's the last we see of that guy throughout the episode. Very, very, very obvious hinting that this character is going to be back and in a more important role. The rest of the episode is mainly just talking, really. There is a bit where they go and they have a club recreational day where Chifuyu, the little girl, summons a giant professional tennis court for them, and they go there, but there's not really much that happens there. Most of this episode is just talking, and a lot of it is focused on talking about the guy, Ando. He's apparently a very reliable dude to all these girls, and that's one of the reasons why they love having him around, is that he is reliable, even though he's a scatterbrain. He's helped them out, likely not even realizing that he's helped them out in the past, and it's that kind of I don't know how to word it, dependability, I guess, dependence, whatever it is, on this guy being able to be there for you, even if he doesn't know it, is what they really like about him. I've noticed another thing in this particular episode. There is a lot of wordplay happening in this show. Just like in the last episode, where it had the wordplay of mixing the words lover and robber, because both of them sound like raba or robber in katakana. There's a lot of wordplay going on here. There is a lot of the things they're talking about is a play on translating words, and it's not as funny as it was that last episode, because it caused one mistranslation caused all the problems of the last episode. That's hilarious. This one, they throw it in there for maybe a couple jokes that honestly weren't as funny, but that could just be because the last episode was so successful at it. The guy also meets, if you watch the first episode, there is a silvery-haired guy hanging upside down, standing on the upside-down part of a branch of a tree at the end of the episode, talking to himself about it, and apparently this guy knows about these powers. Ando meets this person. Neither of them explain whether or not they know about each other's powers or anything, but you find out that this person is actually the older stepbrother of Tomoyo, the girl with the red hair and the ability to stop time. But yes, apparently this guy is a lot like Ando. He's very much a lot like him. They keep mentioning the word chunibyo, or chuni. I need to find out exactly what that word means, because that thing apparently is a very important part of this. From what it seems like the only example I can think of is in Shaman King, when they find out about Lee Bai Long, I think his name is, the Jet Li, or the Rock Lee, or Bruce Lee, that's the one I'm thinking of, Bruce Lee of the Shaman King world, who got turned into a zombie. And the little teeny tiny guy, whose name I can't remember, the main comedic guy of the series, is a huge fan, and Anna, the girl, calls him out on, you only like this huge guy fighting thing because you're so small and you want to feel like you belong. That's what I'm kind of getting what it might mean. I'm likely very, very way off with this, because it seems like what it means is like that, only with the superhero kind of thing. Like, you are a Chunibyo if you love the idea of superheroes so much that you place yourself... I bumped my mic. You place yourself in the situations and everything, in the stories of superheroes and everything, because you just want to be that involved. But again, I have no idea. I'm very, very likely off base with this, but that's just what I'm getting from the show alone. And apparently, Tomoyo's older brother is just like Ando in that they're both like that. They spend like 5 minutes just gushing about how cool the names they've come up with themselves are, and like how every tiny part of the name means something symbolic or significant to them. But yes, Tomoyo appears and the brother leaves. She says that her family is wanting him to come back, that their dad, because their dad is the parent that they share, is no longer mad and wants them to come home, and that he left home saying that the world needs fixing or changing. So huge vibes that this guy is very much deeply ingrained in what happened to everyone to give them these powers. And the last little scene that I want to talk about with this is Chifuyu, the little girl in the club. During their talk earlier about Ando, she had mentioned, because the girl who has the restoration, whose name I can't remember right now, she has the restoration abilities. She was told by Ando, do not try and bring someone back from the dead. Just do not do it, please. That power is not something that needs to exist in this world. And for Chifuyu, the girl who has the power of creation, he pretty much said, please, whatever you do, do not try to create life. Just do not try it. And at the end of this episode, there's this tiny little bit where she walks into her house and says she's home, but the house is dark and literally empty, and looks like nobody's been there since she was there last. Which means, if that's what I'm thinking it's gonna mean, then, especially since at the very end of this episode she tells him that she's quitting school, I am very concerned that this character is gonna get really sad really soon. But yes, overall, despite this one not being as impactive as the previous 2 episodes, like as action-filled or as pushing the story forward, this was mainly just talking between all the characters, and I think it worked really well. These characters now are more fleshed out. I have a little bit of a better understanding about them, and honestly, I can't wait to see the next episode. But that's all for now. I, of course, will have the link to the show in the description, where you can watch it on Crunchyroll for free. If you are a subscriber, you can. If you aren't, you will have to wait until next Monday to watch this particular episode. However, you can sign up for a free trial. There's a bug! And after this, I will have links to other videos of mine. I have a Facebook, Twitter, and just all sorts of things. Everything's in the description if you want, or just click on the video that I'm going to be putting in the little outro thing, because that'll take you right to it. And of course, peace out, everybody. Talk to the kitty cat! There's a save point.